Hello and welcome to Ruth Soap. I'm Ellen and today I'm so excited to be making a special custom order for a friend of mine, and she's a really special friend, and I'll give you a sneak preview. She actually helped me deliver my first baby while my husband was deployed. We have a really neat connection. Anyway, she is asked me to make these soaps for the American Legion that she supports and does fundraisers and things for. So with that in mind, I'm going to do a version of my Freedom Bar, red, white, and blue. It's a 2-day process. So today I'm going to be doing the red and white stripes, and then we're going to cut it on the diagonal, and then day 2 I'm going to do the blue and white swirl. So it's going to be red, white, and blue on the inside. And because this is for the American Legion, I'm going to be piping some poppy flowers to go on the top. So I've got my little frosting nail here and my papers, and so for the frosting tips, let me show you what I've got going on. For the petals of the poppy, I have this little tip. This is just a generic version, but it's a petal tip. And then in the middle, for the center of the poppy flower, I have a little star. So I'm hoping to do like a little star. And then I have a very tiny one, so I can do like little pokey things coming off. You know, the inside of a flower, and it all has names, and I don't know what the name of that is. So these are the tips that I'm going to be using to make my poppy flowers to go down on the top of these soaps. So the batch today, the red and white stripes, I'm going to split off a little of the red for the poppy. And so that'll be day 1. That's what we're doing. I'm going to get everything pulled together. For my red color, I'm going to be using this matte Americana red oxide, which is just perfect. It's just a straight up red, and I love that color. So and then the white, I'll add a little titanium dioxide to really bring a nice bright white. For the fragrance, I wanted something neutral because this is for men and women. So I've got this 8th and Ocean, and it says it doesn't cause any discoloration or acceleration, from Nurture Soap, and it smells really nice. It's a nice sort of gender neutral, it's just a really good smell. So kind of non-specific. It wasn't like super fruity or super musky or anything, so I thought it'd be perfect in this bar. Just a nice fragrance. So that's what we're doing today on day 1. And as we get into this soap, let me get all my ingredients pulled together and let's make some wonderful American-inspired American Legion soaps. Okay, and I'm ready to get pouring my very first layer of red here. So I'm going to go ahead and add my red oxide to the oils and make sure I have a nice saturation. And then what I've done is I made a full batch of soap, split it in half or a full batch of oils and lye, split both in half. So I have half of my oils and lye in 2 separate containers set aside. They'll sit overnight for tomorrow for the blue half. And then with this other half, I split the half into 4. So this is 1/4 of my bottom for the red layer. I'll do a red, white, red, and then the other 1/4 will be for my frosting of the poppies. So that sounds a little confusing, I don't know. But so this is, that's how I have to kind of go backwards on my math to get nice even. That's just how my mind works. So let me get this red, blend it into my oils, make sure I have, you know, what I like, good saturation, a nice rich color. And that's looking perfect to me. So I'm going to go ahead and add my lye, which does have tussa silk fibers in it. And I forgot to put sodium lactate in here, but that's okay. And I want to get a nice sort of medium trace on this, and we'll get it poured in here nice and even and let it sit till it firms up before we mix our next half, our white layer. Alrighty, let's get this poured down in here, and I want it fluid enough so it'll be nice and smooth on top. So I'm just going to get this poured and tap it down on the ground so it's really nice and smooth. All right, layer number 1 is in the mold, and we'll let this firm up for a few minutes, and then we'll get to mixing our white layer. All right, and we're back to do our white layer. So I have my titanium dioxide that I'm just going to mix into the oils here. Get that all blended in, and then we'll add our lye. Okay, so I'm a little nervous about these poppies. I've never done anything like this before. So let me tell you what I got going on. I have my matte oxide red for the petals, but I have to split this off into 3 containers. So for the little center star, I have this blackberry, and it's just a super deep, almost grayish purple. And then for the little antenna things coming off it, I have this new leaf, and these are both from Ruth Soap. And those are going to be the little pokey things. So I just need a teeny bit of soap for those, and then most of it's going to be for my petals. And I have everything here. I have never done soap flowers like this before, so let's see how it goes. I've watched a couple videos. I watched a cake designer do them, and there are 2 different approaches, so we'll get into it and see. But all that being said, I'm going to hand stir this to emulsification and split off so I have a little bit of time to get my colors blended in. And then we'll go from there and let it firm up to a nice piping consistency. But I just want to have a little time to get my colors well blended and not be rushed and have it get too thick for me. I'd rather sit around and wait for it to firm up than have the opposite problem where I'm feeling rushed. Pretty firm, so we're going to go ahead and try to do my first attempt at this. Whew, it's really firm. All right, it's the next day and I'm ready to unmold my red and white stripes. So let's pop this out of the mold. And again, these molds are from Essential Depot, and they're really wonderful standard size molds. So it looks pretty crisp and clean. I hope it is. So now, take my cake leveler that I got on Amazon, and it's just a nice taut wire, and right in here what I'm going to do is come down on the corners and cut this on a diagonal. And you just go real, oh, let me get this out of the way. You just go real slow and try to just keep it in the corners. It's a lot easier if you have 2 people, but I'm by myself today, and you just want to kind of run it down the corners. And now I'm going to cover these with wet paper towels to keep them nice and moist so that the next layer will adhere on here. And we're ready to move on with our blue and white portion of this soap, and I am going to pour off a little. I'm going to pipe some more flowers. The soap in the piping bags got very stiff on me, so I didn't get quite as many flowers as I wanted, so I'll be piping a few more flowers today. But let's get this hand stirred in, and we'll split it off as needed, and then I will stick blend after that. Just going for emulsion here. And I have my titanium dioxide dispersed in a little bit of water because it's a water-soluble one. I have my blue oxide in a little bit of the base oils I poured in there because that blends it nice and smooth. So I have them pre-blended to go in and for our coloring. That's looking pretty nice. Make sure nobody's floating on top. And get over, these are my piping colors. I'm going to just pour a little bit of the soap batter in here, and we'll mix those up later after we get our blue swirlies down. Okay, we're back the next day with our little American Legion red, white, and blue poppy soaps. I'm not sure what we're calling these yet, but let's get them out and see how those stripes and everything came out. I was so honored to do this for my girlfriend, who, like I said earlier, helped me deliver my firstborn baby while my husband was deployed to Japan. She was just a rock-solid friend, and I'm so thankful that I had her around. So I actually met her while our husbands were in training, jet training. Her husband was a pilot, and my husband was a pilot, and they were going through the training command together. So it's got a little bleed out, but that's no big deal. We can get that cleaned up with a planer, a soap planer. So let's get this into the bar cutter here. And I think I'm just going to cut a full-size bar on the end, and we'll just plane that off. Let's see what we got. Ooh, it's pretty. There we go. Red, white, and blue on the inside. Poppies on the top. I think they came out pretty cool. Very happy with these. And this fragrance, that 8th and Ocean from Nurture Soap, is a really, really nice fragrance. I don't know how to describe it. It just smells like fresh air, seaside, ocean maybe. It's just a nice blend. They're looking good. I love these. So anyway, I met my girlfriend while our husbands were training to fly jets. And then we got stationed together in our first squadron in Beaufort, South Carolina, and our husbands flew F-18s, and we were next door neighbors in base housing, actually across the street neighbors, and friendship grew from there. And husband deployed, and she said she would be my labor coach. So, and she was a wonderful advocate for me while I was in labor in a military hospital. It was a pretty old school way to deliver. I had my next baby in a civilian hospital, and that was a whole different experience. I felt like I was staying at a 5-star hotel compared to military delivery. But this is back in the day, so it's much improved now. But anyway, my sweet girlfriend, these are for her.